What's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, Straight Briggs here continuing. To cook up this NBA action, man, y'all know we do on the jam session. We cook up every single game, every single day, man. Money making Wednesday, hump day, 2 days before the trade deadline, man. A lot going on in the association. We saw a trade this morning. Chris Middleton gone to Washington. Kyle Kuzma gone to Milwaukee. Breaking up another championship duo. Hey, there's a lot going on in the association right now, and I'm going to be honest. There's a huge card tonight, but from a betting perspective, I don't love it that much. I'm kind of waiting till post-deadline, till we know who teams are, till we know who's going to be on the floor, till we can see the schemes play out, so we know what specific spots, what specific situations are going to fit certain teams. These next couple days, man, buckle up. Unless you see something that completely jumps off the page to you, I would say tread lightly over these next few days, or at least that's what I'm doing. But I'm still going to give you guys my thoughts on every single game on the board. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's do exactly that, man. Looking for a bounce back. Wasn't my best night last night. I was 1-3 in the NBA last night. Dropped my NBA play of the day. I had the Los Angeles Clippers plus the points fading my favorite team, the Los Angeles Lake Show Lakers. The Lakers came out tripping, man. They got a new energy to them, man. I wonder why. We'll see if them Lakers are one of the hottest teams in the league right now currently, if they can keep it rolling and go on a run this season. But yeah, 1-3 overall for me last night on the premium side in the association. We did cash. The only play was the Boston Celtics. That was a good spot for them in a motivation game. So bounce back night for me, man. If you're rocking with me, rock with me. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. And scoop up some premium plays over at the site. First game on the board, we have the Milwaukee Bucks out on the road facing the Charlotte Hornets. Hornets, 9.5-point home dogs. The injury report right now for Milwaukee's ugly. I see everybody pretty much game time decision. Keep an eye out on it. They just made the trade, of course, like we talked about a second ago. Acquired Kyle Kuzma, traded away Chris Middleton. Not a spot I'm rushing to lay points with Milwaukee in this game. If I were to play this game in any capacity, it would be to take the Charlotte Hornets outright on the money line. We've seen Milwaukee now lose 4 straight games. Why not make it 5? Charlotte comfortable at home. It's going to be, their 6th straight home games. Been shooting in the same rim, in the same gym for over a week. I like the spot for the Hornets here. Just an outright attack on plus 350, We've seen Charlotte beat Milwaukee once this season. The season series is split 1-1. Granted, they played back in November, but a dub is a dub. Small lean on the Hornets outright money line. That's the only way I would look at playing the first game on the board. Got the Cleveland Cavaliers out on the road facing the Detroit Pistons. Pistons 6.5-point home dogs in this one. Cleveland lost last night to the Boston Celtics. Now they're on the back end of a back-to-back. Cleveland right now, as you see on your screen, has been very profitable this season. Tied for the number 1 ATS team in the NBA with the Memphis Grizzlies. Detroit, they've been much improved this season from what they were a season ago. Here recently, they kind of been in a little funk. I lean towards Cleveland in this one. I just trust Cleveland from an ATS perspective. In the motivation game following a loss, head and shoulders the better basketball team in this game as far as I'm concerned. I think they handle business and get this one done. So they've just been that trustworthy from an ATS standpoint. Unless I have a clear reason to fade them like we did last night with Boston, I'm riding with them. So give me the Cavs laying the 6.5 here in this one. Got the Atlanta Hawks at home at the crib with the San Antonio Spurs rolling in. Hawks 4.5-point home dogs. Total 242.5. Interesting game we got going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Spurs look like we're going to see the first edition of the Wemby De'Aaron Fox duo going at it tonight. Looks like Fox will make his San Antonio Spurs debut. Spurs did win the one meeting these two teams battled it out earlier this season, 133-126 on the 19th of December. That was an overtime game in that one. Spurs have lost 4 of their last 5, including getting blown out in their last one by the Memphis Grizzlies, 128-109 on the road. Hawks, they won their last game. They beat the Detroit Pistons, 132-130 on Monday. Look, if you remember last offseason or this past offseason, the guard that many people thought the San Antonio Spurs would acquire to pair with Victor Wembanyama was who? Ice Trae Young. The Spurs basically was like, nah, we cool on you, Trae. We cool. We don't think you're really a winner. We don't think that you're the guy to pair with our guy for the foreseeable future. So, Trae Young stayed in Atlanta. They then acquired De'Aaron Fox. I'm sorry. I still think Trae Young's better than De'Aaron Fox. And I think Trae Young will feel slighted in some way, in some fashion, coming out tripping tonight. And I got the Atlanta Hawks winning this game outright money line is how I see this one playing out. Revenge game at home. Last game was competitive. It was an overtime style game. So Hawks coming off a win in their last one. They've been playing well in the underdog role this season. In the motivation underdog role style games have been the games where the Hawks have been profitable. Step-up games is where we like betting. Atlanta playing down to their competition is where we like fading them. I think the Spurs hype right now is a little overrated. We still have to see how these two guys play together on the floor. ESPN-style game tonight. Ice Trae, we saw him hit the game winner step over in his last game over Malik Beasley. He in that mode right now, and I think he comes out in that mode again tonight in Atlanta. Give me the Hawks plus the points and outright money line here in that one. Got the Brooklyn Nets laying 2.5 points on the Washington Wizards. Total 215.5. A game I'm not all that in love with. We saw Washington make the trade this morning. Both teams are bad teams from a overall standpoint. Both teams though coming into this game on back-to-back wins. Somebody's got to win this one. I would lean towards Brooklyn, but I'm not betting this game. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. There's way more things I'd rather do with a couple dollars than to put it on and watch the Washington Wizards and Brooklyn Nets tonight. You feel me? So I'm not betting that game. I really don't have much advice on that game. We got the Heat and the Sixers. Philadelphia now the favorite in this game. Miami opened up as the favorite this morning. Miami did lose last night to the Bulls on the road. They're on the second leg of a back-to-back with travel heading to Philadelphia. Philadelphia got an outright win last night over the team in Dallas. Forced to play this game. I'm not in love with this game either. I would lean towards Miami. I know they got a doom cloud looming over them. Hopefully it's over in the next 2 days and they trade Jimmy. But it's hearing like both sides have some friction on where he wants to go, how he wants to go, how long he wants to stay with the new team, things of that nature. That's what's hindering the deal right now currently. All in all, not a game I'm in love with. I told you guys at the jump, I'm not in love with the card as a whole. I'm not going to be betting heavy over the next couple days unless I have a clear reason to bet something. I'm leaving it alone. Small lean on Miami in this spot, but I really don't have a clear reason to bet them. So just my thoughts on this game. We got the Memphis Grizzlies laying 9.5 points on the Toronto Raptors. Total 238.5. Two teams we've made a pretty penny with this season. Memphis right now currently tied for the number one ATS team in all of the NBA with Cleveland. As you see on your screen, how good they are. Toronto, though, we've made a really pretty penny on the Raptors at home as a home underdog this season. It's been one of our favorite spots, one of our situations. Memphis, right now. The Toronto Raptors right now, ATS as a home underdog this season, are 16-6-1, covering in 73% of their games. I want their points in my back pocket with the Raptors. I trust Memphis more so in Memphis than I do on the road. They have played decently on the road this season. We'll give them credit, but I'm on the Raptors. It's hard for me to pass up this many points with Toronto in Toronto with the entire country behind them. Again, 16-6-1 ATS this season at home. Give me the Toronto Raptors plus the points in my back pocket. We have the Minnesota Timberwolves laying 11.5 points on your Chicago Bulls. Total 227.5. Look, I'm on the Bulls plus the points in this one. They're supposed to be an outright tank mode. But as we saw last night, they came out, played well, still had a little energy, and I think they can carry some of that into this game. We don't like betting Minnesota laying points in Minnesota. We already know that. We call them the house of disappointment for a reason, because just when you think this team is going to do something at home, they never do it. As a home favorite this season, the Minnesota Timberwolves are 4-17 ATS. They've only covered in 19% of their home games as a favorite this season, and now you want me to lay double digits? No, sir, can't do it, won't do it. The Bulls have been much better from an ATS perspective on the road this season. So, no need for me to overcomplicate this one. I'm on Chicago. Don't trust the Minnesota Timberwolves from an ATS standpoint on the road. And Chicago, they've been decent from an ATS standpoint out on the road. So, give me the Chicago Bulls plus the points in this one. We got the Golden State Warriors laying 6.5 points on the Utah Jazz. I don't have a clear reason to bet this game. Utah has played much better here recently at home, but every time I bet Utah at home this season, I haven't cashed. So if you want to bet Utah tonight, go ahead. I'm not going to do so for you because I have yet to cash a ticket this season on Utah at the crib, which is crazy because of how much money we made last season with Utah at the crib. Golden State is the better basketball team. Over the last few seasons, Golden State has been profitable from an ATS standpoint on the road. Small lean on Golden State, but again, another bottom of the barrel game that I personally, as of right now, have no money on. We'll keep it rolling. We got the Denver Chicken Nuggets laying 10.5 points on the New Orleans Pelicans. Total 238.5. We trust Denver in Denver. The Nuggets go stupid, dummy, crazy at home, at the crib. We've been fading the Pelicans blindly for the majority of the season. I see no reason to start now. To stop now. We just seen the Nuggets beat up on them the other day. I think they do it again here in this one. So I'll lay the points with the Denver Nuggets in this one. We got the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies laying 12.5 points on the Phoenix Suns. Suns right now involved in a lot of trade rumors, a lot of trade talks. We've heard KD's name be floated to the Warriors, KD to the Mavs, KD everywhere. Of course, what's holding it up is the Bradley Beal trade clause, the no trade clause that Washington gave him a few years ago. So that's kind of holding up everything in Phoenix right now. What we know, though, is Phoenix is terrible from an ATS standpoint. Not a money-making team. They're on the road facing our favorite money-making team, the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies. We've already seen the Thunder beat up on them once this season. 99-83 was the score in Oklahoma City back in November. Something similar is probably on deck. Give me Oklahoma City. No reason to overcomplicate this one. I think they beat up on the Phoenix Suns. Last and final game of the night, we got the Orlando Magic out on the road facing the Sacramento Kings. Magic have lost 4 straight. It's going to be their 5th straight road game. We don't like betting Orlando on the road. Orlando has found their way on the do not bet list, and until they show us signs, tendencies, or reason to bet them, we're not interested in doing so. Sacramento, I like what I saw from them in that last game. No De'Aaron Fox. My boy DeMar DeRozan came out there tripping, and I think he might do the same thing tonight. Small lean on the Kings, laying the points in this one. I know Sacramento is just as bad from an ATS standpoint, but small lean in their direction in this one. But that's all I got for y'all tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I'm not overly in love with tonight's card. A lot of games, a lot of not a lot of games tonight. Not a lot of money making opportunities is what I'll say. For the way that I bet the game is what I'll say. If you have your own methodology, if you like a certain game because of how you see it, bet it by all means. But for what I do right now, currently this trade deadline kind of shaking things up. So we'll really hit it hard again, I guess, starting Friday or Saturday. You can scoop up my NBA plays that I do like, the games that I do have the most money on over at Pickdawgz Premium. Maybe only 2 or 3 from the NBA tonight over there. So look, keep an eye out on that. Looking to bounce back on that NBA play of the night after dropping it last night. But that's all I got for y'all, man. I appreciate y'all more than y'all know. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm out of here. Peace.